Okay, this is task 7. Now compared to task 6, this is an advanced task, but it's just the same as task 6, kind of done 8 times essentially. So one of the problems that we have is that the grid is smaller, and so we'll see if that's a problem in a little while. But it's going to be quite a detailed chart that you're going to draw here. So first of all, let's look back at the 8-bar rhythm that we wrote for task 5, and we need to look at that first bar. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to highlight where these bars are on the music down here. So that's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. Now, in the last task, you had that for beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. This is now a full bar is going to be in this gap. So essentially, if you remember the squares from when we started all of this, your 4 beats are going to fit into that space there. Okay, now instead of putting squares like that, I'm going to put just copy the notes from what I've got above. Okay, so from this this first bar here, so I've got tea, coffee, tea. That's my first rhythm. So these are going to be a slightly different shape box than we've drawn before, but if I just make a note of where the beats are, and to do this I'd recommend that you make your pen tool smaller. Let's just check that this works. So yeah, that should be fine. So there we go. So I'll do my outlines in red first, just because to make it a little bit easier to see. You can do colour them in green later if you want to. And there we go, there's that shorter 2 quavers there in beat 3, and then beat 4, looks like that. Okay, so it is more fiddly because it's smaller, but I think we'll be all right. So now looking up here in bar 2, we've got 2 quavers, and then a rest. That's a crotchet beat rest, it's 1 beat, and then we've got 2 quavers, and then another crotchet beat rest. So at the beginning of bar 2, there are my 2 quavers. Then I've got to leave 2 columns gaps because 2 quavers or 1 crotchet is rests. Then there we go, that's the next 2, and that's bar 2 done. Okay, so you can see it moves along pretty quickly once you get the hang of it. Now we've got the first challenge of fitting semiquavers into bar 3. So let's start again by writing the rhythm over the top. So beat 1 is 2 quavers followed by 2 quavers. Here we go, the next bit we've got 2 semiquavers and a quaver, and then a crotchet on the last beat. Right, so really take your time with it. So we've got 2 quavers in beat 1, 2 quavers in beat 2. Now for beat 3, you're going to have to just very carefully draw them like that. So those 2 boxes should be equal, as in within the single column. They should seem like they're the same size. And then you've got your longest note, your crotchet, at the end of the bar there. Okay, and bar 4, beat 1 is 2 quavers, followed by 2 quavers, followed by a crotchet, followed by a crotchet. So let's draw that in, quaver, quaver. One of the confusing things compared to the previous task is each of the columns is now with a half beat rather than a quarter beat. So you just have to remember that as you go along. There we go, there we go. I wonder if you can make your boxes slightly neater than mine. Mine they seem to have got bigger, got taller as we've gone along. But for the moment, for the example, it will do. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I need to just concentrate on 5 to 8. So I'm going to take my print out. And by the way, if you do have a printer, this can be really helpful as you're going along, because you don't have to keep switching between your apps. So if you just print out the rhythm that you've written. So now I can look along the bottom to here where I've got bar 5, bar 6, bar 7 and bar 8. If it helps you, put a little mark over the top of each beat in the bar, just so you can do things more neatly. There we go. And then we're on to the bar 5 rhythm. So the bar 5 rhythm is crotchet, crotchet, 2 quavers and a crotchet. In bar 6 I've got 2 quavers first, crotchet rest, 2 quavers, crotchet rest. Remember, this was the A, B, A, C, so that they're actually the same as bars 1 and 2, the same as 5 and 6. And then just finishing drawing out the rhythm at the top. In 7 I've got 2 quavers, followed by 2 quavers, followed by 2 quavers, and then a crotchet. And then in bar 8 I've got 2 quavers, 2 quavers, and then a minim that lasts all the way to the end. Okay, so you'll see that's significantly longer, that last one that I draw in. Okay, so let's have a look here. Go back to bar 5. I want to draw in crotchet, crotchet, 2 quavers, and a crotchet. And then in bar 6 I've got 2 quavers, then a rest, 2 quavers, then a rest. Bar 7, 6 quavers in a row, and then a crotchet. And then bar 8, 4 quavers, and then you can see this big long note at the end that helps to make the rhythm sound finished by having the longest note at the end there. Okay, so that's how to draw the rhythm for task 7. So this is how to record the rhythm for task 7. As we said before, this is more complicated, quite a bit more complicated than the process to record task 6. So you can, if you'd like to, record the whole thing, all 8 bars all the way through, but I'm going to demonstrate it to you in a way that I think most people would like to do, which is to record 2 bars at a time. So I'm going to demonstrate how you do that. So first of all, let's go to Smart Piano, and just as we did before, as the keyboard comes up, we'll tap on the red button at the right end to get our keyboard. And again, just as task 6, we're going to record all the notes on C3 in the middle of the piano keyboard there. Just as I did before, I'm going to put the tempo, change the tempo to make it a bit slower. Let's go down to 72 beats per minute again. I'm going to press the record button and just be ready to record bars 1 to 2. Press the square to stop. You can see there that I've just exactly completed bars 1 and bar 2 on the session there. Okay. Next thing to do is to quantize it as we did before, but we're only going to need to quantize this once, because once we've done it once, it'll be the quantized value for the whole track. So then I've got to think about into the future what the shortest note value is. That's a semiquaver. So tap on the mix button, go to track settings, quantization, straight 1/16, because the semiquaver is the shortest note. Okay, so that should have fixed my starts of the notes. Listen to it back to check. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go and edit it just now. So straight away coming in here so I can see where it's supposed to be. And looking, it's always good to have this score in front of you so that you can see what's going on. So I'm going to make that, just go back into here, edit. Now in terms of how we might record something with thinking about expression and articulation, you might not in real life actually have all these notes the perfect length, because the way that phrasing works and the way that articulation works, you don't often play quite the full length. But it's important to know how to control it if we possibly can. Okay, so this is just proving control at the moment. So there we go, this is into bar 2, so I've got my first 2 quavers and then my second 2 quavers. Listen to it again. follow this along. Yeah, that's perfect now. Great, press done. Okay, now once you've done that, it's really important that you don't just press record and record the next 2 bars, because it's possible if you make an error that you might go back over this. So we're going to, this is a bit of a GarageBand hack in that way. You're going to tap on the piano over here and go to duplicate, which is going to set up the same instrument just as the track set up above. But now when we press record, it will record onto the second track down, and we're going to edit them together afterwards. So let's record bars 3 and 4. So I'm looking over here this time. I'll press record. Remember not to come into bar 3. So I've just done it on 1 take. You might have to practice it a few times before you record it, but that's up to you. So we'll go to edit. Because it's on a new track, I wonder if it's quantized it automatically. We can check it. Actually, if we go to edit, I think it has done it automatically, because I can see they're all snugly up to the start of the grid there. Okay, so let's now edit that so that's perfect. And you can see on my iPad screen that I've got 2 columns for that first note, 2 quarter note columns. It changes depending on, so I've zoomed out a little bit there, and you see I've only got 1 column. It really depends on how much detail you're editing in, but you just need to remember amounts of things. So those first 2 bars, 2 notes in bar 3 are quavers, so you'd expect until we get to beat 2, which starts there, you'd expect them to fill up half each, just like we have. So always keep track of how far along through the bar you are. Okay, the next 2 notes should be the same as the first 2 in that bar. That's right. And then we get to the beginning of beat 3 of bar 3, and that's where we've got these semiquavers. So you can see they only cover, they only cover half the length of the quavers. That's not quite there. Because I needed to do it a little bit more and I couldn't do it, I needed to zoom in, and then I can zoom out again, just like that. Okay, so after that needs to be a quaver, and at the end of the bar is a crotchet. Okay, into bar 4, quaver, quaver. Again, it's not quite reached the end, so I'm just going to zoom in to make it do that. That should be the same. And then where are we? We're bar 4, beat 3. There's a crotchet, so it fills 4 quarter columns, and that's a crotchet to finish. So that's bar 4. Listen to it again. So move the play line at the top like I'm doing there and press play. That's good. So always watching this again just to make sure it's absolutely as it should be, and then press done. And now, because we've finished that, we can just very carefully just slide it up into place. So now I can listen to the first 4 bars and check it's correct. Fantastic. Now, because this is A, B, A, C, we can do something here to make use of the technology. We can take hold of this bit at the beginning and double tap on it and go to copy, and then make sure the play line is in the right place. Tap on the black just to the right, just there, and go paste, and look, it's done it there for you. So you don't actually have to record in the A section again, because you've already recorded it and edited it, so you know it's right from the first time. So we just need to do bar 7 and 8. So there we go, just turn that over so I can see what's going on. Again, I'm going to use my second track, and I'm going to press record and play from bar 7. 3, 4. There we go. It'll automatically loop round as it did then to beat 1, but that's absolutely fine. I'm actually, because that's the perfect length already, I'm going to drop it up there to edit it, and then just make sure I tap on that top track, and then I can go into edit because it's quantized it already for me. So I'm looking at bars 7 and 8 now, and bar 7 I've got these quavers. Most of the time you'll just have to lengthen these notes out. Just make sure they're absolutely perfect. And then on beat 4 of bar 7 we've got a crotchet, so that's the longer note. Takes us up to there. And then into bar 8, last one, nearly there. It's a bit long that, and I've gone over the note. That's not caused me a problem. There we go, and here we go. This is the long note right at the end. It needs to go to the edge of the screen. And then we'll zoom out. And to make your screen recording, all you do, you've zoomed out to that point, rewind it to the beginning, make sure that when you pull your finger down from the top of the screen, make sure you have pressed record on it. I'm recording this now to add to your video, so I can't demonstrate that little bit, but I'll demonstrate it playing back. So here we go. Here, press play. And it will loop round, so don't worry about that. Just press stop and upload to Shobi. That's task 7.